today, now the 13th day of July 2021. We want to learn a table wetin happen over the weekend. We President Bill go na in farm. He go watch wetin don happen since the last time where he been go there. And he been proud for showing in 500-acre rice plantation. And even tell we say, you know wetin? If I be Mokupa so safe, now we be say we start late. If we been start on time, if we be don't pass this. And he say he gets plan for waiting for the increase the size as time they go. He get plan for waiting for increase the size as time they go. The president thinks say if in can do am, we self can do am. Okay. That part's the Leone for Tikipule. That part's the for say if the president do am, we self can able for do am. No, if we do am, then the president for able for do am. But if the president able for do am, now me say we self able for do am. Even though we want for do am. Because the president will say he gets the community in support. He gets the Minister of Agriculture in support. Amos pa we will get land them. We go get the minister in support. Amos pa we will get land them. We go get the community in support. You don't say what they talk about agriculture now. From the previous administration, we don't talk about agriculture. But agriculture in Sierra Leone. Is it possible? Yes, it is. It gets BUT. Langa one. The bots. It gets her. Because we too can talk now about enabling environment. We too can talk here about enabling environment. That's a simple one where the president gets the enabling environment for making able thrive, for making 500-acre rice plants. Because I see when the video posted, we have the video. We'll go play the video just now. A lot of people they comment where you see, and this is president, so una go plant, una go farm, una go plant. Go where? Where? Who say for go plant this plant? Where you want to compare the ordinary man with somebody who gets 500 acres? We want to do it. Me say Tibule self, you know see? Not the president you no more show. Me self I show me own. Watch. If they see the president out na the field, there's another field. Na me see this so. But me now me no get the kind of connection. I don't get the kind of a connection. I see people that they talk about the seeds, animal, where. Okay. Let's bring can the president first, yeah? Look how the president first. Now hear wetin he been tell we. Where he go see in 500 acre. rice plantation. Mr. President, sir. Let me listen to you, sir.
We'll be done to talk about agriculture in this country, but a lot of people can look down on anybody where they do agriculture. Agriculture now about we all. For make I show you now the example, this is not just one of Leone rice farm there. The last time I been plow with the machine. This time at the show now we don't plow, and with the help of the community within Naya at this particular part of the country, we don't able to do up to 500 acres of rice Naya. And then because we start late. Next year, I encourage them for make we plant up to 1,000, and we will keep for increase. I want for me to do 2,000 acres Naya. I only able to do this because the minister they support. They are also get some young man them, and then this community, and then they do most of the work. And by doing this, then they learn, and we serve they help them for growth. Now the only way this will be able get to your rest. It's shameful for them as alone. They will be fed for Chinese rice, Pakistani rice, Indian rice. We will get this kind of soil, we will get this kind of rain. Look, the water we plenty. So really, we not get any business for the import rice now. Plenty market they jump in a free ton. All rest on the price don't go up. If we got all of this, and this is just a minute part of this country, now we do this. This place actually not just across Toma Boom. If you watch in the far distance, you go see the communication pole down there right inside Toma Boom. So the land now the same as the land over yonder, and me they encourage all salon people there. For make we grow our own food and other agricultural products, not to rest no more. This same area is very good for cassava. If you watch now the far distance this way, then get plenty cassava farm there. If we see no more, we say pass with man they can plant to rest or plant and send them for we. Now the price of the one sell, now they go sell. Government not get away for reduce them. So I really appeal to everybody, from ministers to everybody in our society, more will pay some attention to agriculture, because we all, from me to Mapnaya, I eat the morning, I eat afternoon, I eat na net. Who said that they come on? Na bush. And we pay for everything. So it's fine for make we pay attention. Not to all time government for give you work in the office. Even if you get work in the office, you can't na the field. And we pay for everything. So it's fine for make we pay attention. Not to all time government for give you work in the office. Even if you get work in the office, you can't na the field.
Okay. Il est le président, non so? President say, with man where the cow rice or the imported rice, now then they determine the price. Government not they able for show price for rice. If you know hear that part today, you hear? Government not doing the show price for rice. He said the people who cow the rest, now then they show them price. Now I make me and you for plants. I make you for plants. Say, but come on, they say, oh, rest on there. Say, because himself, they eat morning, something, and net 3 times a day. Of course, the president need for it morning, something, net, even waiting say because they need for stay strong and healthy, for make a good decision then at the country. But how many Sierra Leoneans them go boost of eating morning, something, and net? Now the president don't care who go na the field. He don't show it. Say this now waiting. Able for achieve. Because waiting do. He gets the minister in support. Okay, now the president talks so. You want to see inside the field? How the rest look like? Alright. Now join the first lady now. As they take a tour. Yeah?
Thank you. No. Yes, ma'am.
I don't know what's in there.
It's, hey guys, I just to show a different part of way farming activities them in the country. This na granite them we plant na yeah and some corn and then palm kernels them we run right down different so far off. As you see, this thing all na palm kernel there. You see where then they can grow, plant them by line, and they look so beautiful. In between the palm kernel, them we get the corn them and granite also. You the plant you can able for do tree cropping, different kind crops them in between where you do palm kernel them. So this now one of them. And as usual, my secretary Amina is with me. Follow we can check with farms them and Miss. So this now one of them. And as usual, my secretary Amina is with me. Follow we can check with farms them.
Okay. Well, myself, I get for show now me farms. All right. We don't able for see a little bit of the 500 acre to the first lady where we go around and we know people them usually they have to. But agriculture is more than this. It's really more than this. And we go learn first from how we feel say I think I don't promise for come with somebody we are not bring come yet, but in a not too distant future, I think I will try for get an idea. How do we will not get no connection? How for start? How we can start? We not get any connection. We not get the support from the other people who support the president. How? Okay. Now begin call to panelists them. Go call to Usman make we hear waiting you get for we today. Yes, Usman you welcome on board, sir.
Thank you very much, AAA, for having me. And thanks to everybody where they listen to the program. The video, they illustrate how the President, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, they encourage Sierra Leone and them for engage in agriculture. I think this is a laudable venture. It's a good one. And talking about 500 acres of rice just with the local people then. And they talk about every year they increase them by 500 until it reach a maximum of 2,000. I think it's a laudable venture. Clearly, they see the villagers, the locals, them very, very happy because one, it provides employment for them, engage them, and then secondly, they provide food for them. So there's some amount of food security. So consequently, it make the people very happy. So we're not surprised when they see they dance around the president and they clamp around the president because they know say, for that 10 days, they're food secured. And clearly listen to the president himself. He highlights the benefits and significance of involving in agriculture. One, say we country, the land is fertile and arable. We get plenty sunshine, get a lot of rainfall. So agriculture, as we continue to say, is the best way forward. And we just wonder why we get so much food insecurity in our country. This is why we ask questions day in and day out. People that they are ahead of now the country, what did they do? Do they like strategies? What are the things that they're supposed to do? Where they will make Salone a better country? Clearly, agriculture now one way where the government for use in order for diversify the economy in a way that we will be self-sufficient in terms of food production. When I do my analysis at AAA, I can always give us some evidence. To start with, where this government can have power, the president make a policy statement or in one of his submission now parliament where he make in public opening. They talk say with the effect of 2019, investment in agriculture, including animal husbandry, would be a precondition for holding political office. That in order for all a political appointment, you therefore involved in some form of agriculture. And whether this has been achieved, now that's not a question for another day. But clearly, AAA, you make a point. The support, when they get an office, every other citizen in the country will get that same support today. And it's good that they lead by example. And that's what we expect. Agriculture, nothing we they don't neglect in Africa, not only in Sierra Leone, in Africa. People think say we go into agriculture, you na low life person. And this is one of the things that when they talk now the international conference system for make agriculture become sexy, a smarter and attractive industry. No wonder they see a lot of youth them they don't want to engage in agriculture because then they look at it and say now low life. But let me just refer you to some statistics. When you look at the budget statement 2018 estimate, it say in the first 6 months, of 2018, we they spend about 108 million US dollars in the importation of rice alone. That's a lot of money for spend per the importation of rice. And it was projected that the following year, I think that amount will go nearly double. That it will reach about $200 million in the first 6 months. So imagine if that money when they use for import rice, we will grow we own rice. That $200 million where they spend every 6 months for import rice. That money they goes help for solve other areas then. And according to the Global Hunger Index 2017, it ranks Sierra Leone as the third hungriest country in the world with a percentage of population that is undernourished, estimated at 38.5%. We are the third hungriest country in the whole world with a percentage of 38.5% undernourished. And when you compare this figure to other countries like Guinea, we beat them by almost 10%, more than 10%. Then they are 28.6% undernourished. Whereas Ghana, then they are at 16.2%. So this they tell you clearly, say Sierra Leone get a lot for do in terms of food security. And one thing I will want to emphasize here is the new direction get a social contract with the people of Sierra Leone. As the president himself make a pronouncement during in public opening in 2018. He said, in the new direction, the overall goal of our agricultural policy is sustainable and diversified production of food on a scale enough to feed the growing population as well as providing gainful employment. What's are the key words now here? Sustainable and diversified production. In other words, we engagement in agriculture get for be sustainable and we get for diversified food production in the sense that we get for move away from that small scale agriculture to mechanized farming because small scale agriculture is not sustainable. You go only able to feed a small percentage of the population. So therefore, when we talk about real agriculture, sustainable agriculture, we talk about that large scale mechanized farming. This is why when the president launched the Tamabon project, we praise that. One thing, let me give you some premise about the Tamabon project, why it is a good one. And we hope that this will be repeated in all the other regions. not only in that region, you get for repeat in other regions, but let we start from here. Yeah, let's start from here. The Tamabon project, where the president launched some time ago, he aimed for develop about 12,500 acres of land for the production of rice in that region there. So imagine 12,500 acres of land. And it not stop you. It aim for cover other areas them were very important in the agricultural sector, such as acquisition of farm machinery, we will bring about mechanized farming, the use of machines, modern equipment then, in order for bring sustainable agriculture in our country, mechanized agriculture. And I watched the forum. I think some interesting submissions then they go on at the comment section. You talk about seed multiplication. How then we make sure say we able to generate seeds, good seeds. We will help for bring sustainable agriculture in the country. And not that only. When you talk about advanced agriculture, you also talk about infrastructural development. This project covers infrastructural development, such as feeder roads. Because if the farmers they don't do them production, we need roads and feeder roads for transport, then agricultural food here from one region to the other, or from one town to the other. So the development, infrastructural development, is also part of the project, the Tamabon project. And one other thing again also, then talk about in the later stage of the project, and they talk about a rice mill processing factory. So they're going to process the rice. You know, say when they don't grow the rice, they will like for pound them so that they will reach at the level at which they will able to market them. So it's also part of the discussion in the Tamabon project. And also importantly, staff housing, workshops, transport facilities, and communication facilities. One of the things that way they hamper people and for involved in agriculture is that if you go provide agriculture in a remote area, outside people are not going to get better medical facilities, when they get water, drinking. When I talk about water, drinking good drinking water, then they get schools. Outside and picking and they go school, they not get hospitals. I think that particular venture will become problematic. So it is important that the Tamabon project take into account some of them facilities here, we then say they will provide for the local people. And that will be an incentive for the local people for stay and continue with the rice production, because they want to engage the private sector as much as possible to ensure the cultivation of rice in that particular region. Now, AAA, for conclude, the president in project is a laudable one. We require the support all over the country for those who can afford it. But as you say, the government itself will put hands on deck. We all know we don't come with the project. We don't discuss this agricultural project here before. We don't see a lot of ministers them way they don't appoint and sack them at the agricultural sector. Maybe they perform well. And we don't listen to some of the interviews, the way they interview some of the ministers there. So many promises then. Talk about what they mean, what in the agricultural sector mean, and the midterm national development plan. What in that plan? We then talk say, by the end of the midterm national development plan, before able produce rice were sufficient for feed ourselves to a very large extent. But day in, day out, the area promises here, but we still await when them promises here will repeat. But make no mistake, President, I know say it starts and then region here, I know say not to rise cultivation no more because we say he show you the video where the First Lady herself show you some other area where other production happen. In terms of agriculture, it's important that we get forget diversify, we get forget crop diversification, not only in the area of rice. Okay, other product them we will produce in that country today where it will help. And it's important that if we involve, for example, I mean the other time now, yeah, we listen to Tony Jones analyze for we some aspects of the Lunge Yabas who have been produced in that country today where they don't neglect over the years. Then one other area where the government for look at diversifying crop production. They grow granite in our country. Yeah, the other day, one other interesting caller will talk about agricultural production in our country. We say with the left we country to go buy granite now Guinea and other countries them who they import in our country. When we can able to produce granite in our country. Then here all they destabilize the economy. They destabilize the economy. Because that now a leakage and a circular flow of income. Because when they use resources for go buy outside, when they import, they leak at the country. But when you export, yeah, they bring foreign flow, foreign currency in our country. We go help in our exchange rate. See, Salon don't rely too much on importation. That is why the economy, they struggle. This is why we, the economists, we always emphasize on the issue of lowly help for produce for we self. Importation, a major problem, especially in the balance of trade. Yeah? Or balance of payment, if you like. It affects the exchange rate significantly. That is why we don't struggle over the issue of exchange rate. And also, exchange rate get an impact on inflation. Yeah? In other words, exchange rate, they cause inflation. So, the president is now a laudable venture, encourage other Sierra Leoneans, and especially in your government, especially when we don't make that commitment day. Say this will be a condition for every politician in that country day for engage in agriculture. Agriculture is the best way forward. You don't take where we concentrate on them minerals here. We know they see benefits. Rather than foreigners and they carry the benefit. The citizens are not reap any benefit. Even the small community, that social responsibility, where they say they will provide for the community, sometimes we struggle to get them. The citizens are where the people are where they live in them places and they were in the mind. Then they struggle to forget that social responsibility, where they say they will provide something for the community. Then they get them sometimes. So diversifying the economy through agriculture, tourism, forestry, fishing, yeah, it's a good way forward. I will stop here. I'll give a chance to other panelists. Thank you very much, Triple A, and thanks to everybody with the listening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Usman Tholi.
Thank you.
Yeah. When we talk about agriculture, President encourage we for do likewise. It don't show we in 500 acre of rice plantation. And you don't say why we get fertile soil like we to get a saloon, but we still run at Pakistani rice, Chinese rice, and all those things. They encourage we, even the ministers them. But just like way Usman Toli point out, there was a time where the president say all ministers, any appointee forget farm. What happen with that one day? Yes, we know say few get, we don't showcase them own them. But nothing saying all get to. But now can with us friend make we hear waiting in get for we today. Welcome on board, us friend. You get the platform, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Triple A, for giving the platform. And thanks a lot to all the listeners and viewers, and also big thank you to Mr. Usman Toli for his submission. The issue of agriculture, they always relate to food. We don't say issue of food, we don't go as an alarming, we are in food sufficiency, and don't they talk all the time, as Salom say, the past years and now the past 2-3 decades, not just say towards the last 2 decades, we talk of food insufficiency, we don't talk about when the World Food Program, we don't talk about food insufficiency, then we get the Food and Agricultural Organization, when a part of the UN back. But all this is just to try to say sufficiency, and some people are not going to live in hunger and then go able to sustain themselves in life through food. And the food is very nice in different ways. Depend the culture we get, but we on culture, we know what we don't used to today. We're not staple food, but that area they not will go a bit too much yet. The point what I want to look at it, then point them first. We know see most of the politicians them for the past in the past few years they now get this they come during the campaign, waiting they always they tell you about say the first priority now for bring food sufficiency. Now we're able to get food, now we're able for grow, or now we're able for manage, so we know we'll go hunger. But we're able to go without a balanced diet, and you're not able to forget in 3 meals the kind of talk so. All right. Then they don't come to the point back. You get even you picking the first thing when born now food. You know how to know anything will happen at the world. The first thing when they cry, or then we begin to clean like they begin to get that breast we eat ready, the food. They begin to eat. They begin to know the half of any way. So in other words, food is a very vital component in any nation building. But I didn't make up you enough. But the point here, they look at the area where politicians they always use this tool for letting them go campaign. But sometimes then they come, some of them they can try, whether not because of mismanagement and implementation, things don't they go well. And that one they will know some of them are major component. That one they will say Salon more the last few years, they are like major component. But you go draw a line, say sometimes there are things where people and therefore they try to know between their own duty and right and responsibility and who are responsible for certain areas then. That's one thing. But when we come to the politicians, they knowing that this are the people they need, that's sympathy, then they show them the idea for saying the story for one and so therefore do, you will find out say then they use this tool over and over, and then they put people as a point where then they become enthusiastic, great expectation, because they are the most immediate thing where people they look for. Sometimes also for the work for that way we go able for access them. But you go think say now actually what they work. But the main thing I go access that food day. We sometimes somebody get a small thing he go do for them. So the point there where they will get for the thing, how they would bring them to me, you get for question, I say, is that the way where they get for campaign? Is that the policy, or we get for think of certain strategies then? But coming to the plantations, like what we see at that farm day, we see like what the first day they show you the different plants they will they grow on. Then for try to set up an area where they will try look into what make we not get food sufficiency. We will take a statistic, evidence based. We know a certain time we get LPN, we get this, we get certain time where people and they produce rice. And then can even use the rice to go pay a crop, like in payment from. So you will start to look at the statistics, the amount of the population. So government get set up Lincoln committee. I know there's something and they go do them thing here. You can see plenty of bodies and they come up. But the idea is they set up a committee and go look how the statistics of that 10 day. You tell the population before point something, it begin to go to 6. How much people they produce? What's in the people that they produce? Why it begin they lack? They will not see that thing they produce this year, that this particular amount of rice or other thing, they're able to sell and get. They will try to look what is drop them. Is it because of the seed viability? Is it because of the seed set how they keep them for like they viable for the next season, or not the value, not the type of quality of seed they use, or not the soil will deplete, or sometimes not the type of cropping. Because when you look at cropping, like you get three main types of plants then who the agriculturists then they grow. If you look at that farm there, beside the woman, the first lady they trying to show you, it was just some annual crops. We between our season more like then corn. Before you remember the flower between the 6-7 months before the next year it don't die, but it survive 1 year. You get the one they will have 2 years, so they can go till 2 years. Like some pepper like they so that things like they survive another period of 2 years before they will die. Then you can get now the one that will be sitting as continuous. So instead of garden, they say they see palm tree, without the one that they call perennials, and they grow for longer period. Even though sometimes they take a long time for them to germinate based on the crop, the seed quality they use. They see the biennial, they see one, then they see annual crop. You put the corn, they see the granite. But that then they try to talk about sometimes they get what they call that type of farming there. We get the plants then type. They get the type of farming that they say mixed farming or mixed cropping. Then they get what they call intercropping. You see, then they get what they call crop rotation. But yeah, then you go see actually more of a kind of inter farming you do. But the way you do the inter farming or intercropping, it all puts boku plants then in one place, which is good because I see the granite. The granite is very useful, but to me, they say the granite it can useful more when you plant them like a period where you rotate the crop in the land so that you go do them not so long period, but in those years then they left actually land for fallow for 2 years where they do crop rotation. Where they plant right now, then they let that ground after they don't have it, then go plant something different. So what they plant, how God they give the license, I don't know, but when scientists they look into that, the granite where they plant are, now the only thing where they plant, you know, go need for can use nitrogen fertilizer. Because in God don't get the roots, the way they pull the roots, inside they cut the granite ball, the granite things there. In between, they see like a ball there, when I like thing that we swell noodles there, small one there. When a day it gets bacteria, where they draw, when the rain come, that time that they strike, it absorb that nitrogen, they bring another soil. So it see say the crop rotation, we don't let that ground the way you don't let unless it will grow the granite. For the other 1 or 2 seasons, it bring nitrogen, the soil will become fertile. So the man side number means to say that they can do what they plant in the crop. You can put the inter in between at a certain time with space. When they put it, you see the biennial plant, the perennial plant, when that palm tree, they grow there. So you see other things and they grow between. So then they help nourish back to that plant there. But when you actually put together the corn and that thing there are issues where you go get the roots where they go interfere each other because the roots where the corn gets is different from the roots where the granite gets. Well, they're different roots. They're not going to go too far. Get them five. This root, this type of fruit, the way that they grow. So that's why a whole question. There was sense in it. I know they say there is something wrong, but as agriculturists who don't know small thing, or people who don't know small thing, then they space out a bit, exactly with the corn and the granite. But the idea of planting them, the idea is that now for let them to bring nourishment inside the place while they wait for the other one. We don't try for growth for long later after years now the country begin grow. That's one thing, but the idea is that how they will able to implement these ideas. Then they get bodies that they look, people that know about these things, but sometimes the implementation, how they will able to make, let the farmer know say, the farmer will know say this crop here and they keep on because the seed of the plant, they get for a certain amount of water and will survive the next year. But you get for sure how you will know what's in the amount of this. But if when they bring the mechanized one, what then say then they do gas, they bring and get advanced method for check the soil in water, the seed in water, for say get an amount of water only for sustaining life for meet up the next year. You go see it dry so, but there is actually water in it, but you don't know why you value them. But those techniques they use, how you keep that seed there, then it will viable the next year. Or you want to bring waiting an advanced crop or advanced seeds, and now you go bring the inside where you go see them seeds there and advanced seeds they were going for bring inside. Now they bring the idea where they say horticulture. Now horticulture, I think they get multiple of plants the way they try to grow. Now horticultural agriculture, then you go grow them so you use some one for survey and studies where you get them in rice research stations. So the rice research station, there they get for try to implement, other than they rush in for bring more produce so that then go tomorrow the people are not going to know how to use some of these advanced produce because that's not the idea when they bring that pineapple thing, other people they can't do seeds there now. Then it's I think a part of that I don't know if the Poloco or that northern area somewhere where they get that seed production, when people for can't do seed production, then they begin to sell them and then when they get specialized shops then where they guarantee who's how they go buy them seeds there for any vegetation we go do. But then find out say the seeds for vegetation for vegetables then the question is small because of the way that they grow fine and good now that north area, especially that Kabbalah area. But the idea is that if they are going that area where they know that area are the north and the place is cold because the region are high hill, then they will go establish something where the people and they will go get more. They are doing it because I don't see few things that we see. But the question is sometimes the guy they say, selected few. Because who are they there? They see the people, they will not go to put that person, they will just, they don't do good. But the formality for that person they get her, first you go try to get her, and I do realize, please, not to show this is a person like no I be no more than to be. So all those things, the question, they don't bring a caterpillar, tractors then, where they will get mechanized farming. But the issue of mechanized farming and with local subsistence farming, there is a bridge and gap between that, wherein now when they bring mechanized farming, we get for make the people and get a lot of things that we don't get for need for do. Because you get for get people who maintain those things. You get for get roads, you get for get possible go do all those presence of mechanism and other things. And then you get for get that capital lay for you cover that. So you will think if that one is not reach for those few who are not having subsistence farming, we don't get mechanized farming, we don't get with local methods, we don't get with ideas that we use. They have all these ideas, we used to see them. Then you will get for encourage them with the method that we get for say. We get for different capital small it will be where it will need for let you employ people and locally like they used to do. People in the gather one farm and one town and they go help the other ones then. The other one then go to but because of the lack of the workforce due to people that they do urban migration instead of the rural, they affect them. But now because of waiting, maybe we will say because the work pressure from that forest day. But again, if we go, we begin the system, we engage the leaders, the local leaders and the local authorities, then they try to show say, we identify people that they do farming, what they know them there, what they do them, they do them in there. But sometimes they say, now so then they do, because when they come and they say, now so they do, that's what they do. But sometimes when you go now, they go now, it's totally different. You know, when they say you come, you don't know, say you don't ride this bike for long, now because of this. They have to do feasibility studies. Know the time where people they grow rest, the time and sequence they go. This time they grow this time, the population already decide. They begin a balance now for see what's fault between this gap to this gap. If not because of the people in lack, or not because of this, or not because of roads not there, as we like try to talk all of those things, because we're not going to need the storage facilities. You can think about all those things when we bring the structure. But let them try to develop was the local farming where it is not to actually subsistence, but a little bit more. Because when you say mechanized farming, it involves quite a lot. Not to all man will get tractors and day. So then the man will need us to that man, they don't go rent them. They get for wait. And the season is going. Because most of this food, this plant, some of them are annual plant, like a rest. Now annual plant. You see, in certain season they plant them. So before you receive the president stop and they say that we will late self. Because it gets time when they lost, it gets time when they transplant. So all those kind of factors, even though we get the environment, they actually disturb in terms of production, but that one in our nature, when the people go look now, how they will able to understand. And because even the meteorology department, they help the farmers now, because then they help to forecast the weather and show them how the rain will fall, so they will able to know when and how they will able to do the agriculture. So one thing I want to point out again, there is a body we call Sierra. They almost get name like your team, but they call it Sierra Leone Network on the right to food. But they are still not. They try to do a program where they advocate. They don't put CS with more than 13 or more. So they will advocate about this food. Let people not go angry and they'll get food consistency. But inside they try to do a kind of an act, a bill. What they try to wipe out? Let politicians then go avoid for they can use the tool of saying we can bring on our food. You don't know going to see we can't make food. So then when they put that in a law, you don't go put that in your manifesto. It's a no. You see the manifesto doesn't need it. It should be something where people can get for try and push up. Because when you can at the manifesto, you want to threat Russia, but you get for notice. This na thing where the government cannot see. Then when they say ESO this, ESO now, when they comment, they get forget something. They will say that this will get for put towards agriculture. We don't have to put it as a manifesto campaign. Because when we put as a manifesto campaign, we they bring divisions, we they bring this, we they bring until later all man get before they will get. But you know we know that 5 years so you go there, now all man will get forget, then you go see before the 5 years done, you go see even the issue of the past leaders then, where they say, oh, this man and get money for this, you know, do this. So you go see how people then break away. Because of one person, the evidence, you know, go do it because they get money for use or somehow, we don't know what thing goes. So all those kind of things they avoided. But there was something when a bill, when I came in the parliament, what then they try to do now, but only hope see that the whole water, then the politicians then avoid for let them not go to use them for campaign. They will use them as something when I told what they did at the parliament what they're supposed to do. Instead of they saying that this will get for do. So these are the things some way they get for try look so that as they get the CS so then they work under, they try to look into areas wherein they go do the right research station and develop them. The money will then go waste on some other things then, horticulture, hydroponics, where they use water plants, other things. They get for know some areas where they go and get some kind of irrigation. That's not water they get for bring. Like that area in Apoloko, that's why I think that the Turkish them also. And then at Dubai or something. Now they get for do irrigation. They don't shoot them metal and they get for do. So you get for look the landscape, you get for look the availability of this, and that irrigation when you talk about and people that will get for get mechanized farming. So that other man now mechanized farming life. But he get for do irrigation because of the outside the land day, that water don't they drain or something they don't divert them because of tree or buildings or the river woodlands flow in the area now, the river self it contaminates for let it go absorb kind side of the sea now, for it go like that area na Moyamba and so. So all those factors you get for look them so that you get for bring something where the people then get for say we go profit from this basic and then you will know say the people then get a market where the market value day. They can able to organize something at a point where if you don't develop good roads that day, everything day at a time where in a period where everything will don't work, see them build out they do. Then when they say well we get today a Saturday where they can't park vehicle, we now get perishable goods, we will move on. But already we don't get first one base. But for them to pull out from that place they back, for them to bring maybe up return, it will need back something on a cooling or storage. They will get it and they say, okay, at a cheap price. Or we organize in a social time trips and they go. Then there is a market where people and they go showcase. So you go people who they come up Kono, they will come up Kabbalah, they will bring all the food produce, all man can showcase for can buy to each other, then go. So that's number nine, the only thing where we want for them will able to see how they will able to improve. But not that there are no strategies in place. All this what they say and they talk away, then where that they say. But now a matter of looking at how we will spend less and how we will spend more, that will bring investors them or people who they can do this, tomorrow they don't grow, now for themselves they go. And then maybe people then will learn, maybe a little skill. But let them look into that. Just like Arthur Fred says, everybody must farm. Now old time music. Thank you very much. Let God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
friend.
You're welcome, yes, sir.
Look out, Tony Toure Jones. Make we hear you waiting and get for it today. Welcome on board, Tony. You get the platform.
Yeah, Abraham, thanks for having me and Kusha and Cabo family. Yeah, I feel say agriculture are the backbone for every nation development, especially for we now Africans where we feel say we get the resources. We get vast land, we get the opportunities. You see even in places so we people and they make them small garden them. even I'm as associates, you work, you see people then get inside town, inside even the Boston, yeah. You see people they make shelter and this and that. You go, you see them put soil them inside wood in something, then they grow their own local vegetables and other things. You understand? That tells you the importance of agriculture. We are in the cable for save certain income, which means not everything you get for buy when we may come up with if I see this land business, people around the grab land and people then get enough space in their backyard. You see, we say, if you home the book streets, when they plant petete leaf, like oh kinongo na market, and petete vine their way, then kinon got the cow chuk at the end of the day, we don't know cook on, would put up, and they can do so well, especially in season, you know. Walk around for cook stuff. Now then can just pick some and few can they wait and can able for just buy. Probably if you don't use for buy 5 tie or 6 tie, you could just buy 2 tie or 3 tie in a market because you already get in your backyard. That tells you the importance of agriculture. How you able for make you even save some income. Then imagine how you do it on a large scale. But before now, the I go say the structure me already done in place. I don't know if you maybe follow. Then get written called IFAD, International Fund for Agricultural Development. IFAD they more at the east, then they at the north, then they more at the east, then they can in fact can another open a big bank we then call Apex Bank. Before then, during the ABK regime, this na a fund way international body they provide them funds here. The office for the up where you can up Ilcourt Road by the right way they go down, then get one big office where they buy that Libyan what's it called. So the structure be already done there, you understand? And if they do very well, how they operate them, they give farmers their loan because some you get friends them where they work for IFAD. But we know we I see you understand within that with the economy, the partnership because they come in and give them we sim them so the farmers then can get sim easy access to their fund because these are banks. Even Nimico, Jama Nimico, there is a bank there. Even in Soafe, there is a bank there. And all these banks were established for farmers then. Even there is a roadway, the link between Sando Chiefdom, Dale area, Usai PC Fasulukude, where you go right inside Konadugu districts. You understand? We now to IFAD, now they construct them road in the end. Why they construct several roads them, and why they construct them roads then they decide for give feeder roads for agriculture because these are all the things them where you need for put in place where you talk about successful agriculture. If the farmer the farm all the way be within towards that Sinkunia Fogoka that Kabbalah area, that Skwenadugu district. You get for make you get access for make able for bring in goods them. Not to foresee all the ten and get for bring in goods Cam Namakeni, which is a long distance. But when you make feeder roads them, wherein they link between one town to the other town, they make an easy access, it be easy flow. I remember back when we small old Guinea. Guinea may get them train away they go because say Guinea get train where they go as fast then can where they go then mamu the side and you get farmers and they able for put them food stuff inside, you understand, and plenty so they minimal cost and bring them because Guinea now one country with the farm. You understand? We the farm very well. And you go there, you will see them get pineapple farms, them, then get and plenty things them where they farm and plantation plant, then and plantain, banana, this and that. Because when you talk about farming, they talk no more only because we all focus more when we talk about farming as salon, we they look at rice. You understand? You get other cash crops then with them very important. So okay, but lay emphasis on even anything that I just mentioned. You can plant banana. People can even make banana farm. These are cash crops. You can see where you're gonna store now so. And get banana where they sell, when are chips and cut them. The raw one, they get one, they people they package it nicely. Probably we can even begin do that thing and they we are grow banana, we grow pineapple, we grow this. Guinea gets factory, this factory where they make this juice I don't call ourselves. And then America also. You understand? All them place them things and they because it's not only when you farm because we want more attention is na salon now rest what to they eat so they know they bring the rest to the amount of rest food they import. No, we can encourage people to go into other farming, cattle rearing and everything, you know. And these are things that when are cash crops where you go able for employ more people because I tell you when you get like a pineapple farm, you get like a cashew farm, you get all this because I know Tony Konomani Diana in Bogada, they do cashew farm and make the interest at times when people then so become waiting a call. One day then go put farm, if I not want is and don't go put fire and that guy in farm twice. All that we you understand people then just get that kind issue. So governments can come, it's not like just rice, but can able for build something we are in like we if I get them banks in the government can come and partner with them because this is an international bank. You understand? And these are banks where they create for farmers and for getting loan, but they're not going to keep the give loan no more. Then therefore CC able for service your loan, and when you can't take your loan for help you in agriculture and those kind of stuff because we have the land, we have vast land. Even that coin I do, Mr. Coin I do, they go and place it and call Kaikondo that corner area, like I want chief from inside corner. When you go to that side, you don't know get no diamonds. It's not everywhere in the corner get diamonds. Then get it now fine land who then gives go join to Kailao. If you go to that Kailao has the Abraham, people in the plant coffee, then they plant then thing and they see vast land. You see lands then people in they produce. So you get for make it become attractive, just like what Smart told me to say. When you make it become more attractive, there's a needed funds, there's a accessibility of roads and creates agents and where say they go around buy just like a SLPNB Media Sierra Leone Produce Marketing Board where it's a ready market. People then go see and become more lucrative. People then go see and for make it become more viable because if I need funds right now, I know see I get the needed so I will go able to get funds. I don't need too much collaterals because many times the barrier is the collateral when some of these big banks and they ask for. This is the problem. Mind you, I'm going to take a loan for Go Farm. And it's a risk. Investment all by itself is a risk. That's within the Terror investment class. You understand? It's a risk and returns. They are the risk, they are the returns. Then I'm not even fine. Probably get for a poor yield. Or probably something else get for happen. They don't go take a loan again for the service with a high interest rate. So when you look at the risk factor, yeah, it creates a barrier for even other people that will get for gold. But if the structure, if I don't already get that kind of platform, with the official government just need for encourage IFAD or probably help increase on the funds that we IFAD gets or probably work along with them, see how they can for make them roll them out in all the region, the east, west region, the way they already do establish in the eastern region because they had them big bank na Kenema ID. You get side and they will say Kenema self gets their own big one established. You get some various, even bonds and whatever, where say farmers they can easily go into. It's not basically pasture plant rest, but other cash crops and where say cable bring because even egg, all the import from Holland and don't carry probably can even cut down on eggs. If you go be surprised the quantity of eggs where Salon people they eat every day. You go down Morgan from the church they you see them guy them way that they sell egg. Plenty of them farm eggs and they don't go say 50 or 60 or 70% of the eggs when they sell per day now imported eggs. You probably can able people that can able go into the things and they create the needed environments, they can make it become more attractive, make it become because if all by itself we just the mere awards, let people go farm, people go farm, and the things that we for be available not there. Definitely, these are barriers, and so you got to look at the opportunities and able for clear, you able to make provision for the barriers. And one of the barriers, just like I mentioned, you got to make sure see the roads. And right now it's raining. You understand? And if it rains heavily and the road are bad. Like for come out first. Kono by that Germany for Cam Tongo the road so bad. Imagine say the farm along Tongo area, the farm along other areas and this. So when you look the geographical location of the country, government self gets a role for play if agriculture therefore be successful. They therefore make plenty of their roads because their road there if I make they're nice, but not to alter. So you got to make sure say you come and create their road and day because I tell you, even if people they farm, if they don't get the means for transportation, it's a barrier. Mind you get forget other agricultural implements and we get for good we get for good supply. If the road not accessible, it get problem, it's a barrier. So they got to look at all the nitty-gritties and then small things and the way a likelihood will go affect agriculture and so on. Because I tell you, agriculture Me now, me one person say if we want to go into, but we don't want to go into that kind of agriculture where we get what you get people that we piggery. When they come up, say the crew people they like for men og. We get og, bruh. And we know the revenue we org me they make. They all telling you need org, then they go buy it to you. People that need org like December, people that need for Easter, they can't buy it to you. And they buy all live ones, live cattle and chicken go. And when they get small money, some of the money okay, they even spend it in at Christmas. Even now at Salon, we get big place where they make org there. You understand what I mean? And people they buy them thing and people then they get married and they get barbecue, then they get dinner, they even there WhatsApp group and now they only get chilling, people that they get chilling and they will need org, and they need goats and they need cow, people that they get salad and they need that thing and they if you get that thing and they available, that can be probably a passive income. If not so you active, say, okay, make I just get this as a sundry income where you know go to get some small money that we go to come in. So government got to make sure see the roads are available. The banks say, I was say this farm where the president they talk so now it starts to. This thing has been established from the past regime, from EBK itself. Just get try to find out. They call it IFAD, International Fund for Agricultural Development. It's a big project. It's an international project, not even saying the government funding or whatever. But most times they can phase out because this project not they last forever. These projects are projects that will probably last for 4 years. They end up then therefore go get generate fund back before they can kick up. But recently they don't kick up back some projects then they were not at the party the way they work, they will not start from the work back. So they can partner with anything and but I tell you say road and transportation are one major thing with the kill farming. Because even if you farm rice, you get for transporter. You not got for go transport, make rice na makut for go marketing because you got vast land in that area. Yes, easy truck can just break on the road, then load them. But what about the interior areas? Somebody where they farm na Sinkunya, where probably they farm na Kaikondu chiefdom. You understand? And then places that they waiting at the main problem where they get the challenges where they get now road network. I remember when Amide that region they want me the work. The only side where I'm the first for put pole because they get for when they do farming, you get for make sure see there's a network in that area. The only problem why me get na that place there. I do all visibility study, I do business plan, do everything. The only thing we make take common at that region, they are not put pole na kai condu chiefdom, kind of other big chiefdom, na me the road. Because I do everything, talk to me MD, and he approved. But when the guy the one then they install the site here, they tell me say Tony, the road is very bad. We can't even able for transport. We materials them to Kaikondo Chiefdom. So you see, just for road, the neighbor build sites na Kaikondo. That tells you how important we road they play, where you get good road and accessible road. Because then road then in a muggy roads where truck they go so it is skid. Not say they go down slum or you go fasting or go whatever. So they have to look at the road. If we get for make agriculture a large spread, we get for make a nationwide for let people them weed. They're not get for farm na Freetown, and they farm na Western area. If we talk about large scale farming, now that region and they happen. But if the road na big challenge for Godi, na problem. Just a big problem. That na main thing. They have to look at the barriers. People don't think they want to farm, but the barriers then we dey into farming as alone, it's too much. So they have to look at how they can partnership with some of them structures and the way we already done in place, how they can improve it.
Thank you very much, Tony.
You're welcome, Eba.
Yeah. I want to say thanks to Usman Tholi, to Usman Kamara, and Tony Ture Jones. You will listen. Now your opportunity now for make your voice be heard. You can call on WhatsApp 232-78990-991. You can call direct United States or United Kingdom. United States 1-646-610-3107. United Kingdom 44739-803-0402. You get opportunity now, but if you feel so we don't do good, then we can end the night today and we'll come back tomorrow. But there are so many things where I'll okay. I'll call this caller first. Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and who side the call from, please.
It's not Mike. I call from Philadelphia.
Yes, Mike. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Yeah, I want to ask one question, right? What's not the agricultural budget as alone? How much government they put into agriculture? You know?
Not really right now.
But because I remember one time they say money come for agriculture, then they go do something at Kenema, build houses, they build everything for people and let them start the agriculture. But all what we see now, chief minister go create your own farm, Ben Kefala go create your own farm. The agricultural thing what them for do now, everything gets sidelined, Where the money now, we don't know where the money go. Now then I would try for now let's see how they try for stop. If money come for agriculture, wanna put it into the agricultural sector. No, we don't need minister them for go do farming. Minister them put them there for certain things. Then get their own department them for take care of. Then get their own job for take care of. We don't need minister them for go do farming. If the agricultural section they let them empower the agricultural section. Let them develop. Now then we need that country there. But as money come, minister this, minister that, wanna go. Now all that thief they thief the money, and then the agricultural section no they get nothing. They would expect for get bumper harvest. All in here now just politics. Now politics that they play because they know say election they come and they just for fool the people and back. But nothing no they come out of this. Now just politics. Nothing, absolutely nothing no they come out of this. Government in, government out. They know exactly what the people they need in that country, but then they just play a blind eye. Like say then a game then they play with the people there. Right now, bag of rice almost they go maybe next year I go to 500,000. And they still they play this game here with people there. People and they suffer. People they not get thing for it. When they play games, it's not a game. Now people their life then they at stake in that country there. When I put some money and invest into agriculture, and I want to be not serious about this year. Now they play this game they own at the place. So when I left into on a politician in another country, when I suffer the people and for nothing. The people that na job then give una they feel say na favor una they do the people there. Una left plenty here. And I'm your contribution and the people there.
Thank you very much, Mike.
All right.
Yes, caller, they live on here. Your name and who side the call from, please.
Triple enemy.
Yes, sir. 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. This is now Omar from LA. Listen, I absolutely agree a little bit with Mr. Ophir and 100% with Tony. I mean, Tony, they talk so much about Kono. Let no people say no Kono Bono because he really, I know he really know me this street. He they call some village and where I don't pass me football. They must do all that. But what Tony they talk say not true. Kono not to diamond no more commodity. Kono them very good pan cacao and coffee and rest. They get vast that wet swamp for rest. But what are they try for see now is if you not be remember, I don't know if now you sure on AYB have been listening this. One man maybe in the way create another woman them, Boku woman that think that can be a district. We'll be there for plant rest. The mommy envision he say he want to make sure it's Sierra Leone no import rest. But one of the main obstacles that we come up with transportation and road. What did the mommy say? He say all the rest of the plant it is left back in the bush because transportation not there, storage not there. Then three things that you need the transportation, you need the road because the swamp that we said you need motor car for good. You understand? You need motor car for good. So if this government might not be not to the first and see the good thing after that swamp they talk. But he said he want that we all go into large scale of agriculture, which is good. He get a good vision. But bring the things where people need. We need them coalman truck them. Certain things and the uses of when they talk about farming, like what Tony they talk pig, goat. If you don't skin them, they don't do you therefore go put them in a refrigerator, you therefore go put them in a store. just like the rest. If them people here don't cut the rest, how you face it and go beat the rest? Now them back. Because that back system where they don't cut the rest, where people and the tinapa the rest, the massa for let the rest come out of the sticks and they before they begin put an matter with the beat. We need rice mill, machine them, storage. We need big storage. We need things them. Because road they're not there. Now I make something and they work in Sidona and the area people and they talk say, hey, EBK been fix road them. What the road them, man? Pass you there na them province, you go to some town them. Try to watch the education minister where they work inside Poto for going to school them. You see the road, the battle. You say when are you don't show with video where you motocar stock. But yeah,
for go. Then it's guy for post me. I was like, I'm not the go.
Right.
I'm not the go.
But anytime we turn around with people and they tell we, hey, it became make road. Yeah, right. It make road, all right. Road no day. So if you don't go spend your money, you don't go because not of us say the swamp or the farm na main road you do. You don't go inside the interior. When you don't go do them, how you go bring them crop your car now at home? You need good road, you need transportation, and you need storage. That man media I remember vividly. He said, let Sierra Leone stop for bring food na this country, na Sierra Leone in the next 2 years. But one of the obstacles is a road because the rest are in the plant and I see they left the back. You know, they forgot, motukani they go. So, Bioga for look into all that. For tell people and say when I do large scale, well, me come out na 3 side. Na kono na they are born. But me daddy come out Cambia, me mama come out Kaila Kwendu border. What about if I go there one day and go give me farm? The roadway they and then they will bring. So what are the plans for? In need for seeing to all them things storage, transportation, and road. Let we stop for buy. Look, Lunge got nice place there for your bus. Not to rest no more. Your bus. Cucumber. All that thing they maybe where we grow up, why to go visit me that you can I know Monday. Now what can we go work at it? At the sea, they're really good into agriculture. Not to die on no more cannot we don't call back. So in need for Kandong, stop all them boku ministries and way the hoping and all them necktie officer them take them money and they invest them. When you invest them, not just go tin up na young farm, they tell people and say, oh, I want people and for do this. Yes, because you get the tools them. But then people in the end they not get the tools them. You go able to make road we go na you farm. Then other people and they not get that same opportunity there. Wake up, Mr. President, with people and they suffer. Angry they kill with people left. Too much rest in peace. Then on social media these days. With people and they die. Then they die in large number. Angry and other sickness. And that's not my brother. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Omar. Yes, caller, they live on here. Your name and inside the call from, please.
My name is Fala. I call from London.
Yes, Fala, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Alicia, waiting the other callers in the say, but no matter how them plants na fruit on a salon, all them produce and they end either Liberia or Guinea or even Banjo. The people then put them for travel this they produce them for go Freetown or Waterloo. Them go rather travel for Ghana, Guinea or Liberia. Or even going to Banjul, I really prepare for go sell. Me don't live na Conakry, Guinea. And I may leave na moving when I did the wash me day of all within the common salon, I did go and get stores and they. My brother, if you go under, waiting to go under, you pass waiting to go fit on. All this we other towns they were in the or city they were and they close to the border of Guinea or Liberia. They know they bring the produce come Freetown. They know they bring and kind of say because when I go selling at this place then they get more money. Now they talk about for Lunge Abbas. The past governments they may spend money for Yabas, na Lunge, But who say they go? Na Guinea they go. And who say they go land? A monthly, I did the work day for all boats in the commerce salon. They know the land no side. If you go and if you see the store, if you see the amount of produce where they come on na salon. And then the land water. Once you are like Guinea man there, you know they ever pull petite leaf in a Guinea. You can't go na salon for yourself. You know they pull pepper inside Guinea or can't go na salon for yourself. Now they challenge anybody that. Then they stop you and say because then people are not get food. Why you want to pull on for can't go na salon? Any other product you allow for can't go for go to because then get that trade deal with it between salon. The same thing with Liberia. And the challenge is to be let go not give yourself 1 year, let God give you a long life. All these guys when they say in the plants are the southeast or whatever. Now economy born. Kabona kokwima me that in agriculturist. All them produce all them agriculture stuff then the way that they get na kono. Then everybody can fit on. And not the can't fit on. And they challenge anybody that. When the road bad, they spend 12 hours for reaching Africa. What see people when they do? Then they go sell at the border with Liberia and Guinea. Now, economy born. And no all the road and they take go Gandon. And all the places and they go. Yes, Kono they do agriculture. Both sides they go sell and produce. Not to inside Pluton. Kabbalah herself. Not to inside Pluton and not to inside Pluton and they bring them product produce them. And they can't go then na the nearby and countries like Guinea or the other places and then they go sell. Because it is in the nearer to them. To Guinea, Conakry. So what then they do now, until they get transportation where they can collect all them products and the way they buy from even salon or where they get, then they can't go inside Guinea. Then I Conakry they. And they go to the market and you see all kinds of things. Guinea man will ever allow you put pepper inside Guinea for go sell na salon. You they challenge anybody. I mean they near the WAF, na bonfi, na the WAF day. My bonfi market center. You will go out everything. You know, they go to pepper na salon. You know, they go to your bus from Guinea to salon. Never. They really allow you. But all this agriculture in the talk, 75%, you know, they reach in Africa. Now the next neighboring country, now they go. If they go to Banjul. They go to
So
Banjul.
what do we need for do for fix this?
Okay. What do we need for do? And the right question I ask you. We forget that mobile truck the one when they know say then the process orange. The process outside and go ban at the village. If they for process mango, where one mango juice, we get them mobile and big cool when they go when them harvest the fruit, then process and then in the liquid form, then drive and go to another city. I think that's the best idea. What we need pineapple. It's not the juice because when you put pineapple at score, say they need fruit on, it don't perish. Everything on spoil. Not really the other back for go to and back where you go to the market. Cassava leaf, not the you go banju, petite leaf, where go banju and they get fresh petite leaf na banju. Pass friton. Crane, the fresh one if you go Guinea, oh my god. I seen a bonfi, I'm in there na the WAF. And then the only WAF with saloon with itself if you see the market they will get under. But non-crane not the Common Guinea. Petite leaf not the Common Guinea. The Abbas not the Common Guinea. For going to salon so easy one. Then not they allow that. But the same officers they were in charge. Then they allow them, hey, when I go sell them. My 91, where they get produce, then they can go free on. Now both they can collect and that area where they so for can go Guinea. So the problem is that the people that in the plan they prefer to go sell on the other side. They don't prefer to go sell on free on. So that make angry. Then a free on pass inside. But if we don't get the mobile truck the way they go collect and they can go to free town. Now the best way that because me not go plant me agriculture, they near na the border with Guinea, where somebody just can cross can buy everything left for sell and get to meet total and they punish you and say go na Waterloo or Pluto. So all that agriculture the way they talk about. If we get mobile trucks the way they go buy na them farmers they hand. Then transport and Africa. The best idea that. But for let us say pass the farmers and for Brian Canal, Waterloo, Freetown. Forget. Forget it. Even if na me says I no go plant what they near Guinea, somebody just can cross for come buy na me hand. I took them back from the second na Kabalato. From Kabalato I begin drive back take Makini. From Makini I drive back. No. But if we don't get that market center, big market center or store, we will go buy pineapple, we can store and they. Then we go buy rice, can store and they. Pepper. No, pepper na scarcity na salon. That I mean, that a big error. Pepper, na scarcity na salon. Thank you. Now my contribution that. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, caller, I live on your name and inside the call phone, please.
Yeah, this is Patrick.
Yes, Patrick, you get 3 minutes, sir.
Well, everybody don't say the main point, my brother from Kano. Everybody don't say every point were very important. But not two things the government need for work on. Number one, they let for bring SLPMB back. Because I remember when we small SLPMB, then we get a OP truck, then when they go town to town, village to village, they buy people there. Goods there, they buy cocoa, coffee, whatever they don't harvest. They buy them, bring them kind of fruit on, I make food them a day, things them a plenty. Where they store and they buy back they don't sell it to they sell give people they balance the ship amount, the export amount. If they're able to bring that back again, that will work. Then number two, the government need to get a storage facility. Salon, I'm not going to say we like for waste things there. We dey see if any produce wey burst na that country dey, if na in season, that season dey, it go bokute, it waste, it go pass all where you go see her. If let's say number one na groundnut, we did not say rainy season. This na simple thing there. Rainy season na a month of plenty because most of the crops that they grow, that farmers they not dey suffer for water that much. And when them crops that they don't grow, they the boku, they the plenty. Dry season now inside that 6 months because we not save for dry season, we don't waste all inside rainy season. We find out saying now the pepper now where they for don't save, where for cover away for the next 6 months inside dry season, it don't scarce. People that will go now, Guinea now for go bring up, you know, or Jakato or okra. Because if we see them thing, the way agriculture around there now, technology involved there, yes, but if we get storage, now make it the advanced country every year if you go na max supermarket, you dey see corn, you dey see mango, you dey see whatever food you dey see. Not saying at the time than they no, but they dey get where they save anything there, where they supply the whole year. You not go short that you go scarce a little bit, maybe some store not go get, but some go get. We need for find out management way, how we go to manage with crops there. We produce them at that country there. You say we dey see mango 10 bucks na salon. We eat mango Sunday, we don't boku say the buy. I don't know for now, but back in the days, now especially like me, now ferry junction I dey go egg. I dey go eat today for that last ferry. You go see that lunge titi the way they go because they don't let ferry left there. They auction the mango. So they go say 1 dozen for 1 block. Now bucket me they buy because now next me they eat me mango. Because I don't let fly disturb me. I go eat mango all night. Now I run belly and I go sleep with. Because if them thing and the saver, we come the saver. So if father say we dry season car, we not go the strain for crops there. Where rest time, where people that don't begin the harvest rice. During all this rest where they talk now, they do this now, where they don't plant out. Let me tell you, rest harvest time they begin when? Starting of end of October, November, December, and anything the people that they start harvest, it depends what month you plant your rest. If you start plant early, maybe by that October ending, where the rainy season don't begin to less now, you don't begin the harvest. Mid of November, December, you go see rest go day. People that go eat by football, not go save where go meet up with till May. By May now, where rainy season don't begin, they begin upline now. Actually, I say people that were na farmers, they were the may get rest. They don't buy rest now for it. The only one where they not eat maybe now the one that where they left for go the seed where they left for go plant with because they're not safe. If the government left for big farms there, I mean, if I would say you store them, if not for rest. So you bring your rest, that SLPMB, they get them thing and they, any farmer bring your rest. How many bag you harvest, you bring out the save and they for you. You go pay, yeah, but I know see you get 50 bag, 100 bag of rice inside SMPMB storage. You ask how much you want sell, which one you want sell, which one you want save. Rest go there, not storage because people do agriculture, we don't go farm so no more. That you don't eat all where rainy season can begin strain. Any produce where can pineapple bust na turn now so you go they take the whole country rich, the whole country to good for produce. No district not the way not to produce agriculture. All the districts inside Sierra Leone, every part get their own way where they produce enough food. But if not able to store them thing in there, it's not enough. So the government left for mechanize that SLP where go to buy stuff from the farmer then. Instead of like how we brother say for let it take and go Guinea or whatever. Because if you don't harvest or you cocoa, you left for think how much for transport I can go inside Freetown. Or even take and go na that border, the money we go spend. You go compare the distance and the cost. You go say, okay, if I take and go Guinea border, you go cheaper for me, at least I will get profit. But for transport, but if government bring that SLPMB back, they get them small because back in the days they may get them small truck they will get open van at the back. They go village to village, turn the price campaign and build the SLPMB. Then they buy people the goods there, buy from them. Then that farmer they don't know says if I harvest me pepper, one bag pepper or by whatever they go to measure them pepper they. Oh, I go able to sell and I not even pay transport for go Guinea or go na fruit or Makeni or na credit or any side. They don't buy for me there. They don't give me money. Then government go able to transport that. Even from that self, the government go to make profit because when you go don't scarce by the market, they get people that will go to buy from them. They go to supply the general public because it didn't have store. And they get chemical, they get things the way to preserve them thing they are for 3 months, 6 months, up to a year where not they even rot or spoil. They get things the way that they use. They get things that all they need for bill them place now each district. You said they go to store them thing they are put there, preserve a thing the way not they make if not fruit, where not the spoil. So certain fruits that they serve na salo right now don't begin the loss because the seed they're not there again. We not get seed bank. We'll be saved with seed bank to certain crops there. Like guava. Guava there now, but you know tell a couple where you go, you see them good guava there. Some guava there, the way you see oh, you dey get appetite for it. Maybe the one we go to see na fruit on the one fiber koshioko. Yeah, red, yeah, dark, yeah, brown. It even discourage that. Well, that's when you go see guava. I say now what they say na guava. They say na certain rep. Everything na certain rep. With a certain rep thing there. All the flavor in it, but government left for create that. If they're able to do that thing the day, you know go harvest, you know go plant, there you waste. You plant, you waste, you plant, you waste. You know go to even with all the government thing that they do so if they not find way for save, like we bless 6 months rain, 6 months dry. That's it thing that they will for you would survive with. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Okay. Patrick, now last caller for today. Transportation. seed bank. Waiting again. Water, light, storage facility. These are all the things then. Yes, it's good for make we go into agriculture right now. But let's say now we turn to agriculture. Are we ready for the yield we go come? We the one who they get now. Just like some of the callers they say, it est poil. It est poil. Most they poil due to two things: lack of transportation and storage facility. Are the two things around and where they poil most of the agricultural produce them will get right now in the country. Yeah. Transportation and storage. The produce they will get right now, we know they consume all. And for this 2021, most of the places where I visit, where I go salon, then tell me, say, like, things then drop. Like how they can say, it not can better this year. Now the word we they use. Even mango, they say mango no can better this year. Cucumber no can better this year. Log go na the sauce bar. Outside anything they for come out. Log go check if they not be a better this year. Or they're not able to reach to the final consumer better this year. Or they don't cross border. Now I make we they say it not can better this year. Because I agree, a lot of that. It not can better this year, it not can better this year. Who see I go can better now? Even though we not can better, it's still the poil. Yeah, make you prove that. Let's send the camera go. Na net, na dove coat. Outside in the empty dotty. Let's go see. Beaucoup of whatever na the fruit where they right now. Now you get for full up the dirty box. Why? Lack of storage, proper storage facility. Then stores then they, like I said, me, now you can still grow up. I spend some of my years, because me na my there around. I spend some of my years na Egan Street, and also na Egan Street I grow up. Other areas then go and vex. Na net, if na mango tem, then the two mango tea. If na granite tem, then the two granite tea. And the stores the way then they go keep heat. Those things they no need heat. Mango, all the fruits them alone on their own, then they consume, then they generate heat. And then store them the way then they keep so now then God still there, again still there. Hey. By the time way that they kind of morning, some of them don't spoil. Some man because you know say this if I say they keep on 10 money you go don't spoil, it's just the auction or it away. So even the areas then the storage, you know, I say look they talk to the camera then this the woman they talk pineapple. All poil. Because they don't even get the proper storage. They don't store it now for say, oh, I don't count market, can't keep it inside. I don't know. You don't know. Lights not the surface. Before I go see, you go say fan or whatever. Light safe now, you know, did it. Not to shelves, then they, no, na bunch. Then before they say morning come, all thing don't spoil. Go Pademba Road. Makitu Mande. Then did it. For pepper we go bad. For mango we go bad. For things that we go bad. And most of the trucks then where they count food back. Then produce then they. Then say the thing they then they go through na road. Well, we don't outline. We want to do it. Yeah? We want for do am. President, sir. You see where you go now, you farm? You see the kind mutuka the way you can go? Not to well getting kind in day. Not to well get her. And you say, oh, na be start, we be see where the machine then can. Who saw they pull then tractors then they for go plow? Okay, oh. But we want to do agriculture. A left to we. A left to we. Like Tripoli na I mean I dey test the system. Oh. I dey test na small. Yeah? But the next time I go salon, you go, I won't follow the system, how it should be done. And see if na good venture. The land is already there. I can tell you now, I say, some of the things they talk, like me, I dey follow through. I made a promise the last time I say, me will go salon. I went there, like I told you, not the president in land number. Not say no more it is you. The other person is sitting at Tripoli, we open the hand wide. I'm not starting at it because the first charge for them charge me. And I don't sabi get that kind of money they save. So until all man don't get idea, I'll go to the this, go to the that. My next visit, I will follow through and see what we can able get out of him. Yeah? Okay. If not the garden on me, I get an amuse. I get the size one, then now they go towards the big one. And see, may God put your own blessing, but the blessing not the cancel no more. You ever put in the work. Okay. So go left here for today. Go there back tomorrow. So we'll meet again tomorrow. Triple say, tata.